Happy Saturday, you guys. Welcome to the Saturday Sip and Draw. We do a little behind the scenes stuff. You know, the moment where I get really close to the camera. Give time for people to show up. I'm seeing some people already. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm almost done. There we go. Okay, so hi, welcome. We are doing our sip and draw this evening. I have been waiting since about 6:30, give or take, to open the wine tonight. So I'm really excited. I didn't cheat. I just opened it. I haven't even taken a single sip. So I see you. Can someone leave a comment real quick so I know the comments are working? Oh, there we go. And the sound is working. Okay, good, Rosie. I was really afraid that when I turned the camera this way, for whatever reason, it was killing my sound, but apparently it's working. So let me do a little, the bang adjusting that I always have to do each time. The wine is so good. Okay, I have consumed the wine. I just didn't open the bottle I wanted to drink tonight. So, Silt, if you're new to Silt, I'm new to Silt personally. This week, my husband and I did one of their tastings. They do the same thing that I'm doing, kind of a live video, and they run you through a tasting of 3 wines. It was spectacular. It was spectacular. We had so much fun. So now we are going to get the 3 bottles for this Thursday. It's their last one. In fact, we drove to Silt today thinking that their barn door would be open and we could just buy the wine, but no one was there. So we'll order it for delivery. It was a nice drive though. Nice to get out. Saw a beautiful peacock. So yes, the wine is fantastic. I've now had at least one of the reds. I don't remember which one it was. And then I did the floral flight for the tasting. And then tonight I am doing the sparkling Chenin Blanc. I'm a huge fan of sparkling. It's my favorite thing to drink. So chances of this surviving till the end of the drawing is pretty slim. And I have their beautiful glass. Look at how pretty these are. They have these out at their winery. They have this beautiful burgundy color with the Enjoy Clarksburg. And then they have a gorgeous marbled one, which I think I'm going to have to get next time. When I was going to get it today. We're drawing it today. So tonight's drawing that's fantastic. That was my first sip. Tonight's drawing is kind of based on the winery. I went out there last week and took a look around, and I had discussed with them some ideas of like what we could draw. And then I went out and looked, and I just really latched onto this Model T Ford that they have on site, which is, was their grandfather's, I believe. I'm getting that right. If I'm not, a lot of the family's here, so please feel free to correct me. But it's really cute. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We haven't done vehicles, right? Like in the kids' draws or the adult draws, we haven't done any vehicles. And you know why? Because I don't like drawing them. I always want to draw them very 3-dimensional, and I can't draw like that. I'm like a flat 1-dimension drawer. So there's a little bit of dimension in this, but for the most part, it's very flat. So yes, the Model T, and then we're incorporating a wine barrel, a bottle of wine, their cute little glasses. the logos on there, which you can do or not do. You know, some of you will put background into this. This Model T sits inside of the barn, which is just beautiful. The space is so beautiful. So, you know, maybe you're going to draw the barn around it. And yes, as one of our members, oh, we did do a bus and a submarine. Okay, I lied. I'm so good at vehicles, so thank God you're here to learn from me. What was I going to say? See, I lost my whole train of thought. Oh, the drinking word tonight was recommended to me after someone saw the drawing, and I really liked it because we've used the word curve a lot because there are a lot of curves in what I draw. Tonight we're using the word straight because there's a lot of straight lines in this drawing. I am probably going to erase 1,000,000 times. It's another good solid drinking word. But yes, every time we hear straight, let's all cheers, take a drink. You are going to, of course, need your paper, your pencil, your black pen to outline. I'm coloring the Ford in green and black are like my primary colors. I do have a little bit of brown in there for the wine barrel. You can do which, you know, any colors you want. I've seen lots of comments coming in, so welcome you guys. Thanks to everyone who placed the Silt order. Thanks to Silt for doing this. You know, they gave us this discount code till the end of the month, so that's awesome. And, you know, get another order in. Do the tasting with me on Thursday. I need some tasting buddies. My husband and I do. So let me flip this around and get started tonight. I did put on a new t-shirt for you guys, but it'll be backwards. But it says, drinks well with others. Yes, I do. And I'm wearing a skirt. I'm so fancy. I mean, for all you know, I have no pants on, but, you know, I'm telling you, so you'll believe it. So here is our truck for those who haven't seen it. It was posted on Instagram, and then today someone asked what we were drawing, and it was in the top of the event photo. So this is what we are drawing this evening, and I'm sure some of you fancy pants drawers will just do this all three-dimensional and just knock my socks off. But I'm not wearing socks. So I'm one step ahead of you. Awesome. I'm so loving everybody who bought Silt and is saying the discount code for Silt is DRAW20. DRAW20. My hope is that whenever we partner with someone, they just kind of keep that same code because it's very easy. So here we go. This is our drawing. One other quick announcement before we get started. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling tonight. What was my announcement? Jeez, you think I opened the bottle a long time ago. Draw 20. I'll tell you about next week later. Yeah, I lost it. Let's just go for it. Sorry, guys. I'll think of the announcement as soon as I start drawing. Oh, I know. See, I know what it is. They do ship to Washington. I asked that as well. Here is your announcement. If you were here last week and you did the Beatles and you wanted that to be on YouTube, I tried to put it up there, and remember at the end of the video, I turned the music up because everyone was like, oh, we really can't even hear it. YouTube hit me within 2 minutes with 4 violations for the music. So I can't post that on YouTube. If you were waiting for that one on there, I can't post it and share it because I am apparently using music illegally. Okay, so let's get started. Thanks, guys. There's so many of you here. Okay, I'm going to try not to hit the camera as much tonight, but you know, I'm already off to a rockin' start. So I am going to put a straight line and I'm going to draw a rectangle. A little bit kind of in the middle, not exactly, because I want to leave room for the bed of that truck. So we're starting with a rectangle. And remember, not only do they ship to Washington, but it's only a penny to ship if you order 3 bottles or more. Okay, so we're going to start with a rectangle going vertically. On the top of this rectangle, you're going to do a curved line for the top of the truck. Now, a lot of people get hung up and say, you know, oh, my lines aren't straight, or my circles aren't perfect. You know what? My lines aren't straight either. I promise you. If you came and put a ruler up to this, you would see that it is not straight. So don't stress too much on that part. In the end, it will all come together and work out. I'm going to do more of a square off of the front, and it's going to start about halfway up this rectangle. And while we will curve these lines later, for now, we're just doing them straight. See, Rosie saw the drawing and she said, this drawing calls for a straight as a drinking word. There's the front of our truck. And now off the back, I'm going to do a rectangle. And the bottom line of the rectangle won't be exactly at the bottom line, or the bottom line won't be exactly at the bottom of this rectangle. It'll be up just a little bit. So this is that bed of the truck. Again, I'm going to come from the outside in. My lines are not straight. And they will only get less straight by the end of the night. So that's the start of the bed of the truck. And we're going to do a little line coming up. Thank you so much, Robin. It's so fun to have you guys. And cheers. Cheers to all the straight lines we're trying to do. So a little line coming up. And then you're going to bring this also back in to the truck. There's your bed. Now I will do just a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to put one more rectangle on top of this. This is going to come out a little bit and then up very small and then back in. Good. Glad you're having fun. Is this your first time here? How many people is this their first one? No, use a ruler. You know what? If a ruler makes you feel more comfortable, then by all means. I always find when I use a ruler to really make my straight lines straight, I end up hating the drawing more at the end because then I really start noticing the imperfections. But if it makes you feel more comfortable using a ruler, please do. There's no cheating. Yeah, see, if you just drink enough, all the lines will look straight. Don't sweat it. Now, to add a little bit of dimension, I'm going to have a line that comes in off of this back end. Lots of first timers. That's awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining. And then from here, it's going to come into the truck. Oh, nice. We get a lot who do this as date night. So if you guys are brave, when it's all done, take a picture together and post it on the page with your artwork. I love seeing that. Okay. Now, the truck had these 3 pieces of wood that went along the back as well, and I'm just going to show a little bit of those. So right here, where some of it is down here, some of them is up higher, I'm going to draw a little rectangle that comes down, and then I am going to erase that little line inside. Like we're looking at the end of the wood. And then I'm going to do another one, spaced out just a little bit above. Another little rectangle. This is really probably the most straight lines we've done in a drawing. And then one more. So 3 little rectangles. That go up the back. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to get all those straight lines in. This bottle's going to be gone by the end of this drawing. For sure. I'm not going to go back on camera because I will be bright red. I'll have my wine shine on. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Okay, now for the tire. The tire is going to come up into this space and then down below. Now, my tires they're never to scale. If you look at the original drawing, the tires are probably way too small for the actual vehicle. You do you. It's cartoon. It doesn't have to look exactly perfect. So I'm just going to go for it. And I'm just going to start drawing a circle back here. For my truck. Now, if when you're drawing a circle, I even did it here a little bit. I'll zoom in on that. You see that? It didn't quite connect. It wasn't lining up, so I just kept going. So sometimes, for those of you that are new, when you're drawing circles, if you're way off, don't erase and start over. Just keep going. Because if you keep going, you will end up with a circle. And then you can just erase all the little swirly marks inside. It's easier to create a circle from a spiral than it is to just keep trying. Like to just keep, oh, I missed it. Oh, let me erase it and try it again. Just spiral it out till you have yourself a circle. It's a good way to practice circles too, is just start drawing spirals and then erase your inside. So, circle trick. Now, I want a circle up front too. It's going to be kind of somewhat into the car and then somewhat out. And I really do, while I'm not concerned about perfect scale, I do want the tires to slightly match. So you're going to do another circle up front, and you're going to try to do it about as big as you did the first one. See, that's already much smaller. So I'm going to bring it out just a little bit more. I'm just going to keep growing it till I think it's around the size that I want. Bring that down a little bit. And that, to me, is close enough. No one's going to come over and check it and make sure. So now I'm going to erase the front of the truck that was cutting into it. I'm going to erase the little lines I used to build my circle to the size I wanted it. Erase this little line that goes through this one. And see, we're starting to see a truck shape. It's coming together. Now, inside of the tire, we have a small circle right in the middle, roughly in the middle. And then we have a larger circle around that. And then you have the actual black portion of the tire. So you just want to do a circle in this edge portion. The tires were a little bit skinnier back then. They're low profile. So you're just drawing another circle inside. Again, I do a lot of layering till I get this shape about right. But I mean, if you look at this one, my tire's a little flat up here. A little flat. So just do your best. Same thing over here. Little circle. Bigger circle. And then the actual black rubber. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to just make that a little bigger, and I'll erase the one inside, just so those match up a little bit more. Now there's lots of spokes in the tire. So what I did is I did a line up and down from the center. I did a straight line to the right, straight line to the left. Then one, actually I'm going to do, one in the middle over here. And then as if that came through on the other side. And then this way. And then I have my spokes. Now you could divide it even more and add more. You can really see when you are looking at this forward, you kind of see the spokes on the inside and the ones on the outside. So there's lots. So technically you could really come in here and divide all of your pie shapes. It's almost like I'm slicing a pie with more straight lines. And then do the same here. So slice up your pie, up and down, left to right, straight, diagonally, and then this way, and then divide my pie slices one more time. Get all of those spokes in. Hi, Miss Lisa. Don't when you see teachers, you just have to say Miss to them? Still, I could run into Miss Lisa in 20 years and I'll still call her Miss Lisa. Oh gosh, if I have my way, it's a banana cream pie. That is my favorite. Look at that, we're starting to get a shape. Now, we want this tire, I'm going to have one of the bars that you kind of see on the side. So I'm going to do a line from this little corner here that goes diagonally to the tire. And then I'm going to do another line just a little bit above that. For the bar that's connecting it. So Miss Lisa, tonight I am drinking the sparkling Chenin Blanc, but I bought 3 other bottles. And they were delicious. The white blend especially is to die for. It's so good. So good. Okay, now I realized that I did something. So up here where we made this oval, we're going to start it again. So erase that because we do want to add a little bit of dimension to the front. I do want to give the truck a windshield. So what I want to do here, sorry, everyone has to erase, is I want this line to continue out a little bit further beyond this point. So just have this line come out more and then do your little curve that connects that. So I just wanted a little bit more. And that way I can do a straight line down to the truck, and this will end up being my front windshield. And again, it's really, it's not perfect. I'm not a 3-dimensional drawer, but it works. Redemption Red. Is that next week? Can one of the Silt folks tell me? I've seen a couple of you here. Is that one of the 3 for the tasting next week? Okay, now, the front end. I actually want this straight line currently to curve. So inside of it, I'm just going to curve it down. And then once I have the curve I like, I will erase the point in the front. Oh, good, Robin, you got some too. And now from right about where you started curving out, you're going to do a straight line straight down to the tire. Oh, a beach cruiser would be fun. Oh gosh, that's another one that would be tricky. I've drawn someone on a bicycle before as a custom order. I want to say that the penny, did it even apply? I was looking at the Washington order today and I thought it was still only charging me a penny, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, now up here, there's the little emblem on the hood. So I'm just going to do 2 little lines coming up and then a little circle on top of that. From the picture I took of the truck, I couldn't see exactly what it looked like. So from the side, it just looks circular. I'm going to do 5 little straight lines right here for the little exhaust area that's cut into the side of the hood. So 5 little straight lines all in a row. For the headlight, we're going to do a line angling up and out and a line angling down and out. You'll connect these two and then you'll put a curve line on the end of it for the headlight. One penny anywhere in the US. That's awesome. How's everybody doing? Are you caught up? Is anyone behind? We don't have too much more to do. We're going to do the detail for the door. We need to put the piece that goes kind of over the tire. The windows, and then we're going to put our stuff on the back of the truck. Are you guys all doing good? I'm very behind. That's because you spend too much time on the party bus, Phil. I now know about you and the party bus. We'll give you just a couple minutes. Chit chat. So I did a post. My wife is fine. I did a post that if you draw with me on Monday and you've drawn all of the drawings, that would be all of the weekly drawings and the sip and draws. Monday is the 60th drawing. But here's a fun fact for you. Are you guys ready for this? I draw everything twice. Everything gets drawn twice. So that means in those drawings alone, I've done 120 drawings since we started this, March 16th. 120 drawings. If you add in the private drawings that I've done, that's another 60, maybe even 80 drawings, because I didn't start counting them until April. So I've done about 180 drawings since March 16th. If anyone wants to arm wrestle with the right hand, I will take you down. My right arm is so strong right now. I could just death grip you. Okay, let's get back to drawing. People are like, come on, lady. We're going to go till 11:30. So let's throw in just a little bit in from the back, a straight line that goes to the bottom of the truck. And then from this point where the hood is, you're actually going to do a straight line that goes all the way to the back of the truck. Straight lines are hard, aren't they? I promise you none of mine are straight if you pulled out a ruler. Draw, draw, draw. Practice your drawing every day. Now, just a little bit above this straight line, I'm going to do another one coming to the front of the truck. And when I hit this line, I'm going to angle up just a little bit in this space. So like I said here, you know, I'm doing a little bit of dimension, but not a whole lot. I mean, a realist drawer would probably eat this up, but. Now up here, just a little bit below the top, I'm going to do another slightly angled line for that front windshield. There's my little front windshield. Like, that's about as three-dimensional as I get. Now in this space right here, we're putting a window. So you can either draw a square and then round off your corners, or you can do a square with rounded corners, because the window has rounded edges. Close up on the window. Now you can see how unstraight my lines are though. So see, just kind of rounding this out. I'm gonna make this one match up a little bit better. And right here, I'm going to draw the handle of, oh, you can see the windshield there. It's going to focus weird when my hand comes into view. So you're going to do a little circle right here, and then two little ovals or little hot dog shapes off to each side, and that's the handle to open the door. See, it doesn't like my hand in the way. Focus, focus. There we go. That's a problem if I zoom and I start drawing. Or I mean, yeah, if I zoom in. And when I do this in pen, I will just do the outline, the outside lines, and I won't do this line going across inside of the handle. I'll leave that empty. Yes, so the handle is basically, you're doing a tiny circle, a little circle, and then you're doing 2 little hot dog tips on each side. And they're right on top of this line that went across. So when I actually go in with pen, I will just do the outside lines and not this part of the line going across. Let me show you the original. So see, I'm going to leave it empty on the inside. Let me come back out. Okay, last few things. On the front of the tire, you are going to do a little curved line that comes out just a little bit off the front of the tire, and it's going to follow the tire shape. It's going to come down because this ends up how you stepped into the truck. So this line curves down and then it straightens back out and comes about even with where the door ends. So see, my door ends here. This ends just a little bit in from that. And I will erase all of these lines inside of it because this gets colored black. You're going to angle a little bit of a line outward. And then you're going to follow it back in until you run into the tire. So curving back up here, and then I run into the tire. And then we have 2 bars that connect this to the truck. So right here, closer to the edge of the door, I'm going to do an angled line down. And then a little bit over it, I'm going to do another one. Well, thanks for being here, Lisa. And then I'm going to do 2 more, a little bit closer to this outside edge. Just like that. And now all we're left with is the bed of the truck. So I thought it would be cute to put a wine barrel on the bed of the truck. We've done a wine barrel before, so I'm going to start with a curved line, just slightly curved line. And then a slightly curved line coming up and back in. I will change the shape of this multiple times, I know. Because it doesn't taper at all. Like it's the same spot up top as it is in the bottom. It just bows out a little bit in the center. So you're kind of trying to come out, but then come back in. like as if you had a straight line and you're bringing it back to where you had the original. Does that make sense? You know, a wine bottle tapers. It's skinny at the top and then gets wider at the bottom. This one, you're trying to make the equal distance here as it is down here, and then it just bows out in the center. And then once you have a shape you like, you're going to connect those two lines with a slightly curved line down, very slight, and then a slightly curved line across the top, as if you're seeing just a little bit of the top edge of that barrel. And then all of these little trial and error lines I'll erase. And that works for my barrel shape. And then I always give my barrels those metal rings that go around them. So I'll put one kind of here closer to the top edge. I'll put a little gap and then I'll do another. This line gets erased outside or on the inside of the barrel. And then we'll do two of these on the bottom. So one here, little gap, and then do the other one. So when you color this, you have brown in the bottom. This is like a gold color. You have brown, gold, brown, and then you have gold, brown, gold, brown. So it's just those bands that hold the barrel together. Now next to that, I did a wine bottle. It's not to scale in comparison of size to the barrel. I mean, you could put a bottle up on top. I just kind of did that like tapered bottle shape. So skinny at the top and then it just tapers out wider. And then I slightly curved the base and a little bit of curve on the top. You can erase this little line that you have on the inside of it. I did put I put a curve line kind of close to the bottom. Another one a little bit up from that. So that's my label. And then just that little foil for the top. There's my little bottle. And then I really loved this glass, which is going to take it off camera or off focus. So I loved this shape of this like stemless tumbler. If you want to do more of a wine glass shape with the stem that you'd hold on to, you can do that too. I'm just going to stick with this cute little tumbler shape. And I did two of them because when I went to their winery, they had two different options. They had one that was like silvery marbled, and then they had this burgundy one that I'm using today. So that is just going to be a curved line with a line going across, and then a second one of those. I'm just going to start with the line going across so I make them about the same shape and size. And then I'll erase this line right here. I'm actually going to do it at the end though. When I go over this in pen, I just won't put this line inside. So that way I have my two little tumblers. And I'm actually ready for my pen at this point. I'm going to add the detail in my bottle at the end. I'm going to add the detail in my cup at the end. I'm going to add the logo at the end. So some things I'm going to do after I erase, after I get everything in the outline. So to start, I'm just going to come in with my pen and put these shapes in. And again, I want to make sure that I don't put that line inside. So some of these things I'll draw in first. Oh, the car mirror. See, I forgot something. Thank you. I'm going to be brazen and just do this in pen. So what I'm going to do for the car mirror, I'm going to put an oval right here in this little space to the right of the window. I'm going to put a circle inside the window. I'm going to put the teeniest little circle inside that. And then there's just going to be a curved line for the bar that attaches that little side mirror. Just like that. And this little tiny circle in the center I have because when I actually looked at the photograph, this is all black, but it connects with like a little piece of silver, a little silver bracket. So I'll end up coloring all of this in black, but I'll leave that tiny little circle in the center, and you could color it like light gray, but it's so small. I just left it white, so it just kind of looks like. But you could color that in black too. It really wouldn't make a huge difference. I just could see that little bracket, so I left it on there. So that's my little side mirror. Thank you. I do forget things many times. The kids like to show me all the time, and I need it. I'm forgetful, and you just get started and you're talking, and if I don't pay attention to the first drawing I did, it's easy to leave stuff off. Just putting all these little lines in. And the nice thing is once you have, this stuff on, well, now that straight long line you had before you're just doing pieces of it. So does it really matter if it was straight before? Not really, because you're only seeing a little bit of it anyway. It's broken up in between the objects. But of course, then you do have a lot of other straight lines that maybe matter a little bit more. But again, I don't know. None of my lines are as straight as they seem. I also just said that word like 4 times, so drink up. Cheers. Cheers to the word straight. And these little wood pieces. Doesn't really matter what you outline first. I just like to sometimes go into the things that I want to make sure I don't accidentally put a line through. And I do those first. Put this tire in. I also find too that when I'm doing tires, I never end up on top of my pencil line. I make a lot of adjustments as I go. But then also keep in mind, you're coloring that in black. So you can also change the shape. You know, if you end up looking like your tire got a little bit of a flat tire, you can change that shape too when you color it in. Now, these lines are pie slices. They don't go into the center hub, but they do go on top of this outer circle. So make sure that you do at least put them over this larger center piece. And I'm going to do a whole other ring of color that goes right up along the edge, but I'm not going to outline that. So I'll do that once I color it in. I'm going to actually color my tire in black, and then their Model T had this really pretty light green, and it was in the hub, and then it was like the trim right along the edge of the tire. And I just knew if I tried to draw that circle, I wouldn't have it consistent. So it's easier for me to just do it in color versus having the outline. Sometimes I'll do that. Like even this shape is black, and then you have the tire that's black. And I'm going to color those with with my colored pencil versus using my pen. All of our pie slices. So hopefully we see some of you guys next week too. You'll try out that Silt tasting. It was really fun, you guys. I really had a blast with that. There's you will laugh many times. There's lots of funny comments, but then you also learn so much about wine. And you have both of the brothers talking about it. I'm going to put this little handle in first since it's on top. And it's in this line for me, so that way I can break that line, come to the handle. There we go. Let's do this straight line right here. I will say I love having this drawing table. It's very helpful, but the little ledge down here that holds the pencil, it definitely messes up my straight lines a lot. I bump into it. So I'll be cruising along and then all of a sudden I'll run into it. I'm excited to see your guys' drawings tonight. It was really fun to see your beetles. You all did so awesome. Oh my gosh, some of you just you kill me. I'm blown away by your skill. Oh, I really messed up that line. No, I can't. It won't let me turn the table like that. And man, that Beatles one, it took a long time and you guys just hung out. It was really fun. All right, I think that is everything for the outline. And once you have that down, you can erase all of your pencil because you're ready to color. You could do lots of fun things with this too. You could put flowers up on top of the... Oh, see, I erased my little wine cap. Up on top of the barrel. Already coloring. Man, Lisa, you're like the kids. Although I think this week too, my mom was here. Mom, are you still here? But my mom was coloring one of the days I was coloring and she said, I'm done. It sounded just like the kids. The kids always like to tell me when they're done. And yeah, they go a lot faster than I do. I'm slow. That's why I'm always surprised you guys stick around as long as you do for the coloring, because I am totally a slowpoke when it comes to coloring. Oops, I bent the page. Oh, you started early. Yep, final episode on Thursday. Ooh, I hope I don't have any private drawings that day. I just realized that I didn't even look. Where are we going to go? You're going to hang up and go to bed. That's where I would go. That's where I'd go, to bed, or I'd go watch a movie. I usually stay up really late. Is anyone else doing that in like this quarantine time, like staying up way later than they ever used to? My husband and I stay up so late right now. So late. Okay, I'm putting a little gray in here. I think we're up between 12:30 and 1 a.m. every single night. I'm also going to do this portion right here, gray. It was kind of a wood. This was wood. In fact, it's actually slats of wood. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't wait. You know what? There's, I've been trying, I don't know. Things are opening more. People are going out. We don't need to have any discussions on whether that's like good or bad, but I'm starting to have these like thoughts in my head of like places I want to go. Okay, where do I want to go? Like, where do I really want to go? And I definitely want to go just sit outside at Silt in the nice weather and drink wine. It was beautiful out there. And I saved a little baby bird. Well, I don't know if I saved it. It may not have made it, but was inside their bar and I carried it outside. I caught it. I like to think it made it. Yeah, I'm like up way. I mean, I tend to stay up late too, but it's way later than normal. Jen, you're up way past your bedtime. For this little mug, it's kind of a marbled look, so I'm just gonna do these little gray like marks inside, kind of give it just a marbled texture. Yes, I will post a picture of the real truck, and then you'll really laugh at my drawing. So yes, I'll post a picture. I took a couple really pretty pictures while I was there, so I'll post all the pictures that I took when I went out for my visit. You can even see my little baby bird that I saved. I took a picture of him too. It's a very beautiful space, a very beautiful barn. So this is our windshield. So this will get colored in. Windshield shade. And I really wanted to put another little line here and not make that as big, but I didn't. So I'm just going to roll with it. There's my mistake of the night, is that I should have added one extra little line for the windshield. Oh, yes. Thank you, Dwayne. You just tagged it. So I have an Instagram for Draw with Stacy, and you get to see a lot of extra things there. I don't always post them on the group because, the majority of what we're doing on the group is like the kids' drawings. So I don't always post the things on there. But I do share on Instagram a lot, extra photos, extra bits. I'll do a lot of like, if I get something new in my drawing space that I want to share, I'll share it on there. So if you have Instagram and you want to follow me, you'll see all the pictures there too. Thank you, Dwayne. I'm going to get Dwayne a Vanna White t-shirt, but with his face on Vanna. He's my beautiful Vanna White. I don't know if he loves that I call him that or he hates it. And I'm going to color this other little tumbler, that beautiful burgundy. You could write on the tumblers. I think they're pretty small, so I just saved my writing for the barrel. I did forget to do a tiny little line at the top for the foil on the top. And I'm going to be fancy and color this in with a silver, although it's so small you can barely even tell that it's not just gray. And then I'm going to come in with gold, and I'm going to put gold on these, like that metal that holds onto the barrel. But I will post. If you don't have Instagram, I'll go ahead and post. Maybe I'll share my picture tonight. Dwayne and I are not related. Our kids went to the same school originally. My son moved schools, but our kids went to Dex together, and I met him there. And we've talked about drawings in the past, and I don't know, when I started the group, he just started helping me, and he's been a huge help. He built my websites, so I'm his biggest fan, at least. And next week, we have partnered up with Dwayne, who is doing hand pies. And so next week, we're switching gears. We're not doing drink, we're doing food. But of course, I would highly encourage some drink to go with the hand pies. So if you order by Wednesday, you can have your hand pies delivered Friday. And I know that's the day before, but I ordered a bunch of hand pies from him and reheated them. I put them in my fridge and then I reheated them very, very easily. So he is also doing a Draw 20 discount to save 20% off of your hand pies. And he will have local bean cherry, local blueberry, a black bean chili, Delta pink lady, a brie, caramelized onion, and apricot. So super tasty. Super tasty. So make sure for next week you order hand pies, and we'll create an event and we'll link to the page and all of that information so you know how. Dwayne just posted it. They're so good. Oh my gosh, they're so good. So all of the ones on the list, he didn't have cherry and didn't have blueberry and didn't have chili. So there's new flavors, but oh my gosh, that brie and caramelized onion. Oh, it's so good. They're so good. Delivered to Washington. Oh, and bye. Put a little brown in here. Now on the actual truck, you'll see this was actually boards. So you could even do some like little straight lines just in your color, a little bit darker in here to give it the look that it's wood boards lined up to make the bed of the truck. So I'll put one right there. Also, that was just another good reason to say the word straight. Make everybody drink in case they hadn't. I'm a little bit darker along this edge. Yeah, this is all wood, so you could add lots of like little texture to it. Robin, if you order, I will bring you hand pies. Tell Kirsta to order 2, and then you guys can pick them up from each other. I would happily deliver you guys some hand pies. Make a note. Bill and I like to go out and deliver. That's like our dates right now, is delivering. Like we did wine. We didn't need to with Silt. They were awesome about doing all the deliveries, but with everybody, all the other wineries, we've been going out and delivering. So if you guys place your orders, I will get them out to you. I'll bring them out to you Saturday. So just somehow note to Dwayne to deliver them to me. And we can make sure you guys get them. They're really good. And I ate them. I ordered at that week. I don't remember, Dwayne, how many you did. You did like 5 flavors or something. But I did 2 of each. And I ate them for a week. So they're packaged in these like little bags individually. And then I just put those little bags in a large Ziploc in my fridge. And then when I wanted one, I would heat it up in the toaster oven. I kind of did it on warm for about 5 minutes, and then I cranked the temp up to 300 and did it for 5 minutes, and they were perfect. And the ones I ate the day they were delivered didn't taste any differently than the ones I ate a week later. They didn't get soggy, the crust didn't get weird, they were awesome. So I think you could also even freeze them if you ordered a larger quantity and you wanted to always have some on hand. They were very easy to reheat, and they were just as good reheated. So, just a little side note. Okay, I'm going to do my bottle, this like really that kind of muted green, army greenish color on the top and the little bottom part. And for the label, Robin Lazzarini, if you're still here, maybe you could tell them a little bit about your guys' label, because I think it's really cool. And it just, your sparkling was a little bit different. It had this label, which is gorgeous. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, the label on the other wines has something to do with like a view of the winery. Is it like an aerial view down? So you can kind of see the delta. You'll see some blue in it. So I'm just doing these like kind of swirly lines to capture. Oh, perfect. See, long truck bed, extra wine. That's all it means. And then I'm just coming in with some other greens. So if you have a bottle there in front of you, just kind of look at your bottle and see what colors work and put them in. So see, I'm just doing all these little like kind of swirly lines. And it kind of gives that look that their label has. And of course, you could do their logo on that too. I'm still going to save that for on my barrel. And then this outer hub is this like really pretty like seafoam green. But this seafoam green is also right along the tire. So I'm just going to come with just the pencil and do a ring of color around the tire. I'm flipping my paper because it's easier to do this way than it is to try to actually keep that even by holding my paper still. So there, that just gives that green. Okay, the label is a silhouette of the Sacramento River. The town of Clarksburg is at the point of the letter L. It's really neat. I really love that. It's so beautiful. Like I would just hang that on the wall. You know, it's really pretty art. My father-in-law was in agriculture, and I have all these really cool maps, but they're like almost like the topographical maps, and they kind of remind me of what that label looks like. All right, there's that. And let's see. All I have left is the green of the truck and then the black. So I'm going to do the green of the truck first. I'm going to find a good green. I'll do my black last. I always save the black for last, just because it's the one color that tends to smudge the easiest. So I do it at the end, and that way I don't risk smudging it all over my paper. You can also do a trick my mom said and like put a piece of paper on top of where you color the black so you don't risk smudging. Oh, the letter L is the point of the tasting room, and the town of Clarksburg is the point of the letter T. I'm going to have to look at that again. I'm going to have to get one of the other bottles. But the bottle that I have, that's different, right? The sparkling. All the other labels I noticed have that swirled pattern, but the sparkling just looks more shades of blue and silver. Which is also beautiful. I would hang that as art. Since we do have a lot of parents here whose kids draw with me during the week, I'm going to talk a little bit on what's happening with Draw with Stacy going forward. I know there's a lot of other pages that a lot of other people that are doing kind of drawing things like this, and a lot of them are ending this week. They're just taking this as like the last week of school, so the last week of drawing. I'm not. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to draw the same exact schedule that I'm doing currently. I'm going to do it through June. I might have 1 or 2 days that I'm taking off. I'm not sure yet, but I might need to just take 2 random days, which would be like one of the kids' draws and then a sip and draw. So June, it's going to keep going 5 days a week, same times as it has been through the month of June. In July, it will change. I don't know what it's going to change to yet. I'm probably going to send out a survey. I have a couple different ideas. I don't know what people's interest is. Like, once the world opens up more, I don't know if people will keep coming. I don't, will you still come for Sip and Draw, or will you want to be out and about? I, of course, do want to do some events like in spaces, some public events, but we're like a ways off from that. But stay tuned, because sometime probably in mid-June, there will be a survey, and it will be both about the kids' draws and also the sip and draw. I am still booking private, so if you have anyone's, birthday you want to do, or maybe you have someone who doesn't live in the area and you want to do something with them, I'm booking those all the way out into August. I'm not like changing anything about those. You just have to message me and then we can figure out a date. It's just these, the sip and draws and then the 5 day a week kids drawings. Those, I'm not exactly sure what they're going to look like after June, but they will keep going through June. I am using sap green, Robin, sap green for the truck. So just know that, I know a lot of you, next week is the last week of school for your kids. They can still keep drawing with me even after next week. And then we'll go from there. But watch for a survey. So watch for a survey to post sometime in June. It'll probably be like up for a week, and I'll repost it a bunch of times to make sure lots of people take it. I said that like Bob Ross. I'm slowly turning into Bob Ross, you guys. Pretty soon I'll have an afro. Goals. Okay, all that I have next is black. And I actually think I'm going to do this in pen. So I was going to do it in pencil, but I think I'm going to come in here in pen and do all the black. I really need a good black pen to color in with right now, and I don't have one, so that's why I was hesitant. But sometimes I do like to just color the black in pen. It goes a little bit faster than the pencil does. Do this little hub in black. Here's another question for you guys right now. Did anyone just lose sound? Although if you lost sound, would you hear that question? That's very philosophical. I have all these weird theories of why people don't get sound. And at first it was that when I shot horizontally, you didn't, but you got it today. But one thing that's different today is I wasn't charging my phone while I was filming, and I just plugged my charger in. So I'm wondering if that changes. But like, again, if you lost sound, would you have even heard that question? That was kind of a silly question to ask. It's like one of those tree falls in a forest questions. Oh, okay. Interesting. See, then maybe it's not on my side at all. For some reason, I was thinking maybe it was. Because the 2 times it happened, it was kind of the same people that it happened to. And both of those times I was shooting in landscape. And both of those times I had my phone charged. Had my phone plugged in. Okay, now I'm going to switch back to the pencil just so it looks a little bit different, so it doesn't blend in as much. The tire kind of stands out on its own. And I'm going to come in and do both of the tires. And then I just have the logo, and we're done. And don't forget, you can share your drawings on the page after you're done. I love seeing them. So make sure you share them. If you just started following me on Instagram, you can share them there as well. If there were wipers, they were not in the picture I was looking at. I would just focused on this one picture that I took from the side, since that's how I drew the truck. I knew I wanted to have something on the bed of the truck. So I knew I was drawing it from the side. I will say the first time I did try to draw it, I did try one version of this, and I tried to do more dimensions. Like I tried to look a little bit straight on from the truck and off to the side. Oh my gosh, it was comical. I had to just stop. I was like drawing and laughing at my own drawing all at the same time. thinking there's not a chance that I'm showing this. But I will post, I'll post the pictures I took, and in the head-on shots, maybe you can tell if there were wipers. Again, I'm just spinning the page around. It's easier for me to do that than it is to color. My hand only moves so many directions, but the page I can keep on spinning. Now, I know we talked some about the blender pencil last week, and I'm actually going to use it again today. I just read that comment. I am going to use it a bit today. I'll kind of zoom in and show you. So one of my, I don't get bothered much by white. You can see a little bit of white in the green. But I do whenever I'm coloring black. So I really do like to hit my black pencil with the blender. And you'll really see how it changes it. It just spreads, like, it doesn't make it gray. It just actually makes it darker. It spreads the black around so you don't end up with as much little white specks. So see that? It like blends it out. But it will, see how it's depositing it on the page. So instead of swiping to get that off, blow on it. Because if you swipe to get it off, you're going to smudge that all over the paper. Oh, hey, Doug. How are you tonight? And thank you very much. Good to see ya. Or to read ya, I suppose. So see, I just blow and then whoa, bouncing all over the place. See, that's what happens when I zoom. So see, look at the difference of that tire. So that's blended. That's not. Blended. Not. So I'll do this one too. Again, it just, I don't know, for whatever reason, if I'm coloring something black, usually I want it very solid. And with pencils, which is why a lot of times I'll go into it with pen, because with pencils you do get a lot of that white poking through, and that blender just really takes that out. It's totally a game changer. Hey, Kim. I didn't even know you were here. I don't see all the names. It's really funny. Like, I don't necessarily always see when people come in and out. So I never know who's watching. I never know who's watching me. Sounds creepy. And the blenders are so cheap. But if your pencil set came with a white, use the white. It's almost exactly the same thing. And it's not going to fade out your color. Like, look, I'll go over that with white. It doesn't fade it. It just blends it. So if you don't feel like forking out, the $5 for the set of 3 blender pencils, but you have a white, then go ahead and use the white. Okay, now I'm going to do the logo next, and I don't always give too much. I'm going to put a little texture in here because this is like the edge of wood. And I'm going to come in and do a couple lines in the barrel also. I don't do too much as far as instruction on like lettering. I feel like it's harder to teach, but I'll try. And my fingers are going to get in the way. Maybe if I come over from this angle. Let's try some different angles. Oh, there's my beer sticker. Okay. So, oh, and I have a smudge on the paper right there. So for the S, I'm going to start with a line going up and down, a little straight line. And the back of the S will be back here, and I'll do another little straight line. So it's bottom to bottom, top to top. Okay. So this is going to curve up, come down, and around, bottom to bottom. And then this one, it's going to actually connect into this top portion because it's not thick the whole way. And then it'll come down, it'll get a little thicker again. And then thin out, and then come to a point. And then when I color it, I can make little adjustments to what areas are thick and what areas are thin. And again, it won't be spot on. I'm by no means a font whiz. The I is dotted with a little oval, which I'll color in. And then I'm just going to put the line for my I, which is going to stop a little bit short of my S, because at the bottom of it, it has a little triangle. So I'll put that triangle in. And then off of this side, it has another little triangle like this. And now I'll color these in, but it also is thick on the center line. So I'll just add some width to that. Same with the L. I'm going to start with like the outer edge of the L. I'm going to come down about to where I did the I, put that triangle at the bottom. Hi, MJ. I just saw you show up. And then the L has the little triangle, just like the I did. You'll color this in. You'll color this in. And then you'll make that a little bit thicker. And the T, I'm going to start with the outer edge of the T. So I'm going to have a line that comes down and up to a point. This is going to come down and in. Color this in. And then this is wide. And it kind of comes up to that point. And then the other side of the T comes right off over here, and it goes out, angles in a bit, and then comes back in. It's not exact, it's not perfect, but you know, it kind of captures the essence. So a lot of times when you're looking at font, I'm not good at creating my own font at all. Usually if I'm writing, I'm just either doing like a very simple, all caps or lowercase or what have you. But, you know, when you're copying someone's font, you just kind of look at the shapes and just put your little, put little triangles in where they might have kind of a triangle shape. And sometimes like that, you'll just come in and add like a little bit of extra to give it that better point. And then I'm just going to do some little lines down the barrel so it looks like that wood panels. I'm not doing them solid, I'm kind of breaking them up. But that's how you learn. That's how I learn. I mean, just if you want to practice fonts, then you know what? Find some that you like. Write out whatever you want to write out, and then just try to recreate it. And there we have our Silt drawing for this evening. I'm going to put my initials down here on the bottom of the page, and the month and year, my little signature, and that is it. We made it. A little bit less time than last week. Still tons of you hanging out, doing your drawings. Make sure you share your pictures. Remember, you can share them directly onto the group. You can share them in the album for tonight. You can share them with me on Instagram if you're now following me on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and kill the light and flip it around and say goodnight to you guys properly, even though I said I wasn't going to flip it around again. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you to Silt. That was super fun. Thanks for providing the discount for the wine. Hopefully you see more people ordering from you this week, and hope to see some of you in their tasting at 5 o'clock on Thursday. I'm hoping I don't have a private drawing that night. I still have wine, so I have some drinking to do, my friends. Thank you very much. Another lovely evening. Join me next week, 8:30. Order your hand pies, and you will not regret them. We can all just eat hand pies and drink more wine together. So thank you. Love you. See you next week. See your kids this week. Have a great Sunday. Super fun. Another great night. Bye, guys.